West Premier Bushy Maape is being criticized for insinuating that the roads in the province are in a good state.
Yeah, so in his Sona debate earlier this week, it was last week. The debate on the State of the Nation address was last week. Maape claimed he travelled almost 200 kilometres from Mahikeng to Rustenburg without hitting a pothole.
Yeah, of course. Residents say they're outraged by these claims, given the dire state of some of the roads in the northwest. Let's get you up to speed with what it's actually looking like. Refiloe Seboko is our reporter, watching the story as it continues to unfold. And Refiloe, they always say that good journalism is not only about listening to what people are saying, but it's about going out to find out yourself whether the claims are true. What are you seeing there?
Definitely. This is why we are in one of the roads that has potholes, and it is also a shock to some of us to hear the Premier mentioning about the issue of potholes in the province. I'm just going to ask Zwelake to pen and show you the road that we are in as I'm about to welcome spokesperson of the office of the Premier, Selo Dadai, to also explain to us what exactly Dadai was the Premier saying in relation to his statement about potholes in the province.
Well, thank you, Refiloe, and let me take this opportunity to greet the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. I think the Premier was specific. He was mainly referring to provincial roads, and I'll cite an example. If you travel from the Denville Circle all the way to Lichtenburg, which is a stretch of about 60 kilometers, there are no potholes in that particular road. And equally, if you travel from Mahikeng, and in particular from Rivera Park, all the way to Zirast, which is a stretch of about more than 60 kilometers, there are no potholes. There are no potholes in that particular road. I think a lot of interpretation in relation to the Premier's address had to do with internal roads, and that is what the Premier was not referring to. But the matter of internal roads, as you have just demonstrated here, is receiving attention from the provincial government. And the MEC of Public Works and Roads in the Northwest Province, it is going to give a provincial picture and a strategy on how government is going to deal with this particular roads, and in particular internal roads.
Based on how residents of the Northwest Province reacted to the statement made by the Premier on the state of the road in the Northwest, would you say that the statement by the Premier was misleading to some extent, also painting a picture that there are no potholes at all in the province?
No, I can't say it was misleading. It was a question of interpretation. Hence I said that the Premier was specific when he gave that particular address at the Sona debate. But the Premier did acknowledge that there are roads which need the immediate intervention of government. And government has set aside something like 1.3 billion rand to deal with road infrastructure backlogs in the Northwest Province. There are about over 35 road projects that have been commissioned by the Department of Public Works and Roads in the Northwest Province. And as I explained earlier on, they are going to cost something like 1.3 billion rand. Now, one of the roads that the department is going to give a facelift is a road that is in the provincial capital, which is the Nelson Mandela Drive. And the department has set aside something like 50 million to construct that particular road.
And as you are outlining issue of road infrastructure projects in the province, fixing roads similar to the one that we are in now, is there a timeline so that residents could not continue to experience their tires being busted as a result of potholes and stuff?
Well, what I can tell the viewers of Newzroom Afrika is that the department, or rather government, has initiated what is called the Provincial Road Master Plan. And the government is going to need several more billions to deal with this particular issue of road infrastructure in the Northwest Province. But like I said earlier on, currently government is working with a budget of about 1.3 billion rand. But the provincial government is engaging various stakeholders, including Treasury, to see how best they can resolve this particular issue and find a lasting solution to road infrastructure backlogs in the Northwest Province. But to conclude, I need to emphasize that the Premier is not oblivious to challenges of road infrastructure in the Northwest Province. Neither is the provincial government resting on its laurels to deal with this particular matter.
Thank you so much for your time. Silo Tatai, he is the spokesperson of the Premier's office in the Northwest Province. And thank you so much for your patience as well. Explaining, Ayanda, that the Premier or the province is looking into issues of potholes in the Northwest Province. Also, the budget that he has also indicated that there's money set aside to fix potholes or roads as a whole in the province. Also trying to clarify what exactly the Premier meant by that statement that he made about state of or potholes rather in the Northwest during his SONA presentation.
All right, Refiloe Seboko, thanks very much indeed. That was there from Mahikeng in the Northwest. I wonder to what extent people will find that explanation acceptable, because part of the post I've been able to pull up from that speech is the Premier saying, I travel from Mahikeng to Rustenburg without hitting a pothole. And the spokesperson there says it's a matter of interpretation about what he means there, suggesting he's just referring to provincial roads, as it were. There you have it. You might as well tweet us your thoughts. But Refiloe Seboko, rounding up the big stories we're watching for you at 8 o'clock today.
Explaining, some say spinning.
There you go.